Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Can't believe I'm doing a match preview show today. Very reluctantly, obviously, as you can imagine, as a Liverpool fan. Not the best of times to support the team, but here we are. Um, Content creators, I think, especially if you do it for Liverpool, much respect in terms of keep going because there's not much to shout about. I think we can start the show actually talking about transfers. So transfer deadline day has ended a couple of days ago. Obviously, if you're a Chelsea fan, you are jumping with lots of joy as you pretty much bought the whole market. So many players were signed. Liverpool, on the other hand, it was early signs where we signed Gakpo and we thought, you know what? Maybe we'll sign one or two players in the window. Maybe another midfielder would come in because at one point we had an injury crisis. But some players returned. I think Ox and Keita returned back to the squad, and Klopp said there was no need for a midfielder. So take it how you will. Was that coming from FSG or was it coming from Klopp? At this stage, who knows? But my thoughts on in terms of Liverpool's window, I think a centre mid would have been nice to have added to our squad. Quite like a signing like Sabitzer, who went to United on loan, would have been ideal. We already have a loanee at the club in the name of Arthur, who, to be fair, I forgot he was even a Liverpool player at one point. So, yeah, it's sad times, difficult times for Liverpool fans. Very hard to even keep positive in terms of transfers because there's no quite of a direct vision right now at the club. We're hoping to have new owners in the next few months. At this stage, who knows what's going on? So yeah, it's not looking good. I'll probably say the best signing of the window from a neutral perspective. I like the signing of Mudryk for Chelsea. I think he's an explosive player. He'll do really well. I think this signing was a split vote between neutral fans. Was Jorginho to Arsenal? I actually think it was a good signing. I think it was a smart signing considering they have quite a few injuries. I think Partey and Xhaka aren't available. El Neni, I believe, is also out for the foreseeable future. So smart signing, 12 million. I know Arsenal were linked to Casido, so you're expecting more of that type of player to come in. Obviously, that was not going to happen, considering what he did on social media. He wasn't ever going to get his move straight away. So I think for a short-term fix, good player to have, full of experience. It wasn't that long ago that he was nominated for a Ballon d'Or, so definitely a quality player regardless. Let's just go into the comments and see what everyone says. Brush with the popcorn emoji. Thank you, Brush, for tuning into the show. Bobby K showing some love. Thank you as always. LFC Trader saying yo. Thank you, LFC Trader. Appreciate you coming on to watch the show. True City fan also showing some love. Appreciate it very much. Football Power Hour. Big up yourself as well. LFC Trader starts off. Everyone on the treatment table, shake my head. Yeah, let's talk about that. So at the minute, it's not very clear in terms of Firmino's return. I believe there's rumors circling that he might be returning sooner than expected. But from what we were told beforehand, I think he might be fit or back into training in the next 2-3 weeks. Van Dijk is out for 3 weeks as well, I believe. Arthur, whenever he's going to return, apparently he will be back in 3 weeks as well. Konate is a big blow. I was really hoping to see him flourish with the absence of Van Dijk. And I think he's been one of our best players so far this season. Just such a shame that he's injured at this time of the year. Jota, I believe, still has a month left. And Diaz, a couple of months. But I believe by that time, it's probably the end of the season. So not expecting to see Diaz anytime soon, which is obviously a big shame. LFC Trader with some more comments. Yeah, they didn't like that. I don't blame Brighton. Yeah. To be fair, I think they did the right move. I think they shouldn't really kind of, bend over and just let all the top team take their players. There's a player that they've invested in. They pretty much gave him a chance. He was an unknown quantity in Ecuador. So bring him to the Premier League, give him a chance to flourish. He will get his move eventually, but I think the manner in how he did it wasn't correct. I believe there was at one point he had 3 agents, so I don't know how many agents he has now, but whoever gave him that advice to do that social media post, yeah, it might need to be evaluated because that was poor advice to give to your player. I could have put him in huge trouble there, but I think Brighton did it in a very professional manner where they said, look, you're not training this week for the next few days. Once the window's closed, then you can return back to the squad and no hard feelings. Well, you'd assume anyway in terms of the public eyes. So I think that was the right approach in terms of what they did there. The biggest transfer we will make this summer is getting a better medical staff in place. You might be right. I think there was a point where we didn't even have a doctor at the club. So yeah, getting medical staff. At the minute, it seems like every staff member is leaving the club right now. So who knows? It seems like a big overhaul at the club. Is that signs for new ownership? It's so hard to say. You know, if you believe the rumors, we've been linked with the Qatari consortium as well. I don't know. I don't know what to believe nowadays. Obviously, you'd love for it to be true. I know there's some fans that are still skeptical of having owners from the Middle East for a number of reasons, but in terms of football perspective, we'll be falling behind if we don't get the right owners coming in who are ready to invest into the club, which clearly FSG aren't, despite what a lot of people say. We are a sell to buy club. That is our policy. I'm putting it out there. If FSG are still the owners in the summer, do not be surprised if we sell Salah to generate some funds because that's the only player I would say in our squad that holds that value where we could get some kind of money for him. But at this stage, yeah, it's not looking good. You're hopeful that we get new owners. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to look far ahead. In my head, I've already written off this season, but you know, we got to keep going, I guess. Another comment here from LFC Trader. Don't rule out Bezos. I work in the US with pro athletes, so I'm connected to a lot of stuff here. I've heard about Bezos as well. So yeah, do enlighten us in terms of what you know, because I heard he's a big sport fan. So a person that's invested in their sort of teams as well in the past. So that's what you want from an owner. Someone that's passionate about the sport and that wants to win. I don't really get that perception from FSG. I see him as astute business men, women, because obviously it's a John Henry and his wife. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll be talking about the ownership in more detail as time goes on. But hey, we're into the Premier League match week 22 now. So yeah, we'll crack on with the match preview. Let's talk about Klopp. For me, Klopp has been disastrous in my opinion in terms of his tactics. I wouldn't say he's been the worst tactician in the league. That's a bit far-fetched, but he's made some really, really shocking decisions or approach to games. And Klopp isn't immortal. We have to say it how it is sometimes. And, you know, he's not immune to criticism. If he deserves it, you know, I'll be the first one to say out loud. There was a period where we were doing really bad, playing 4-3-3. We don't have the legs in our midfield to play that formation, in my opinion. Not even that formation. We just don't have the style of players that we're used to seeing where they're pretty much the engine of our team. Now we've got players that are pretty much aging. Our midfielders are above 30 years old. You know, obviously in normal day it's a decent age, but in football terms, it's not the right age for a midfield where you rely on energy and you rely on being efficient in your play. So yeah, I think that's a big mistake from the team, from Klopp, from the owners, whoever we want to point at, to not assess this and possibly have signed at least a couple of players in the summer, or maybe even recruit someone in this window gone. But hey, it is what it is in that regards. LFC trader with some more comments. He was looking at the Washington Commanders, and it's looking like he's not interested in them anymore. He wants a Premier League team. Interesting. My honest opinion on what Klopp is doing is what he has currently is seeing where how these players will work or where they can play on a team is fully healthy. That might be true as well. I know a lot of people say that Klopp has a lot of loyalty towards certain players, which to an extent he does, but I feel like a lot of managers do. You just have favorite players that you can rely on. You know, if you look at our previous managers, Rafa Benitez had Dirk Kuyt, who came in as a striker and he pretty much played right wing, even though he wasn't a right winger. But you know what you got out of him. You got 100% every game, and you got goals as well at the same time. So every manager has their favourite. So when we're looking in that regards, right now, I think he's not doing a lot in terms of figuring out what the future is for the club. He's not really doing a lot of changes. He's pretty much playing the same formation. I think one thing that confuses me right now is him playing Gakpo as the main striker. And whenever Nunes makes an appearance, he's playing on the left-hand side. Whereas normally, I would say Gakpo is traditionally a left winger and Nunes is a main striker. So it's a strange one because I think a lot of people are now thinking that Gakpo might be the long-term replacement for Firmino. But there's also speculation that Firmino's set to sign an extension. So don't know what to believe nowadays, do you? But Gakpo for me is predominantly left side winger. He can play that false nine, how we want to say it, because he's very intelligent in terms of how he leads the line, drops deep, and he's very effective with his passing as well. So that's why I think the comparison of stylistically that he can play that Bobby role where he can drop deep and dictate the front line as well. But I think Gakpo needs to be given a chance. A lot of fans have already dismissed him. For me, he's just literally walked through the door. Give him a bit of time. He's come at Liverpool in the worst time where nothing is going right in any shape or form. So yeah, it's a tricky one. Once the team is fully fit, what does your lineup look like? Oh, good question. So I've been an advocate of changing the formation completely this season. So I've been wanting the team to play a 4-2-3-1. I think that's the formation that suits our current crop of players. You're not relying on an engine in the midfield like we had previously. You've got two defensive-minded players that are there to protect the back four. And the back four, or should I say the two centre-backs, they've not had much protection this season. So having one DM for me hasn't been enough. And the DM this season, i.e. Fabinho mainly, you can see he's just off the pace and he's getting outrun by the opposition. So with that leads to gaps in midfield and teams are exploiting that. Before, team would focus on the wing, especially on the right side, thinking Trent Alexander-Arnold is the weakest person or the weakest point in our team where we can attack him because he's so forward-minded. But now everyone just does their thing. So yeah, excuse me. It's been a worst time to be a Liverpool fan under Klopp. We're just so easy to play against, so predictable. Yeah, we're a shadow of ourselves. But in terms of the best lineup, so if we had a fully fit squad, I'd go for 4-2-3-1 formation. Obviously, Alisson in goal. Back four, I'd go for Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate, and Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Midfield, on paper, I would say Fabinho and Thiago. But for me, Fabinho's been really, really bad. So, but let's just say on paper and, showing a bit of form, I'd go for those two. I would love to see Bobby Firmino have a run in that number 10 role. I think that's his natural position. So I'd play Bobby Firmino as the number 10. and then I'll have Diaz on the left, Salah on the right, and Nunes leading the line. So let me know your thoughts in terms of my lineup there. Let me know what you think. Got another comment here from Madison Smith. Thank you, Madison, for your comment. Thoughts on Fabinho moving forward? Yeah, do you know what? It's a shame. I think the last 12 to 18 months, arguably is one of the best DMs in world football. Now he's not. I feel like the legs have gone. I would not be surprised personally if he leaves in the summer. I remember hearing a comment from Klopp saying that there's certain players that aren't able to do certain things that they used to do. Maybe that was a hint towards him or one of the other players in the squad, or just a generic comment. But I see that in Fabinho. He's not able to do the things that he does. That tackle he did over the weekend, I think it was Ferguson for Brighton, nearly broke off his Achilles with that dirty tackle because he just can't react anymore. He's very slow in terms of his tackles, his overall play. So yeah, it would be sad to see him go. I can actually see him leave. Who would come in? I don't know who would come in. I think Declan Rice has been linked, but he would command a big fee. But a DM is like a priority. It has to be, maybe even two, to be honest with you. Another comment here. I think the team has earned this fall off. They fought for everything 5 years in a row. They pushed City every year. Sorry, got deep in the Champions League last season. Was really taxing. Look at Mane, he got injured. I have to agree with you. As much as we moan and groan about the form that we're in, it is understandable in terms of why we've dropped off. But having said that, every team would add more players to the squad. We just haven't done that. Especially our midfield. We haven't signed a midfielder in 4.5 years or 5 years now. And that last signing was Thiago. So Sir Alex Ferguson, he used to do it with United every year. He'd always add 2-3 players, even if it's for competition or whatnot. You need that refreshment within the squad every year. And we look quite stale. We look exhausted. So had there been more acquisitions in the last 2 to 3 seasons, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation right now. Maybe we would be able to handle the amount of games that we played. Last season, we pretty much played every game available. So obviously that was always going to have a toll on the players. And then we had a World Cup in the winter season as well, winter break. So but the thing is, we've not been great since day one of the Premier League season. So yeah, I wouldn't completely, go overboard and say this team's useless, but it definitely requires surgery. Definitely requires a few refinements, and midfield is the key area. Me personally, I'd say another centre back as well. I think that's vital, and maybe even a right back. I know we've got Calvin Ramsey, but I feel like there's times when Trent Alexander-Arnold needs a bit of a break as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. To be fair, another comment here from Madison Smith. I've seen a rumor saying Salah to PSG for 80 million in the summer. If true, do you have to take it? The only reason we would take it is because our owners are still FSG and we have no choice but to take it because, like I've always said, Liverpool are a sell to buy club and there is no way we're going to raise funds. We don't have a lot of players to sell. So obviously Salah would be the player that has or holds some kind of value. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see these rumors, to be honest with you. I know there's an image floating around 2-3 weeks ago where he was seen having dinner with the PSG chairman. Liverpool fans took that one way, but in my head, I'm thinking it could be another way because at that time we were linked with new owners in terms of the Qatari family. So people thought that had some sort of relation there, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? To be fair, would I take it? I wouldn't take. I wouldn't want Salah to leave, but if it's under FSG, we might not have no choice. To be fair, it will just depend how we put that money into the squad. That's a big difference as well. Um, because we need to sign good players. I don't think we have a director of football right now either. So yeah, Liverpool got a lot of work to do in the back and in the front as well, in terms of the pitch and in the backroom staff. So a lot of work to do. Another comment from LFC Trader: this injury crisis has been a blessing and a curse. Look what we unearthed in Bajcetic. Who knows if he would have even seen him in the first team at all. So there's a good and a bad. I agree with that one. I think he would have made some appearances, possibly in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. I agree. I don't think he would have been rushed into the first team so soon. And to be honest with you, I feel like he has been rushed in. So we have to be very careful in terms of how we use him. You don't want to overuse a young player. If he has a run of bad games, it could really affect his confidence. And you don't want that to have a long-term effect on the player. But yeah, he looks like a top talent. So I wouldn't say he'd be like a shooting star. He's only 17, 18 years old. But I think if we're able to recruit a solid DM in the summer, have Bajcetic as an understudy would be fantastic for the squad. Who's going to be able to afford Mbappe after what Chelsea did? I mean, Mbappe value just skyrocketed. Yeah, Chelsea have just kind of ruined the market. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think Chelsea are probably the only one, and they'll probably find a way of signing him to like a 12-year contract to try and make those payments and try and find a loophole in that FFP nonsense. Because yeah, they've managed to do it, and yeah, it is what it is. You know, Chelsea are buying all these players, and we're just twiddling our thumbs, hoping to even get a rumor come out, let alone a signing. If Enzo is worth 120 million, Salah is easily worth 160. On paper, you say yes, but I think based on Salah's recent form, I think since the AFCON, he hasn't been the same player, in my opinion. So I think his value's dropped. He's still an elite talent, don't get me wrong. But I think because he's touching that 30 age group, I don't know if someone would pay that kind of money. If he was obviously 5 years younger, then you'd think of resale value. So that definitely plays a part. Um, but yeah. Another comment from LFC Trader. Who do you think is the better player, Enzo or Bellingham? For me, it's Bellingham. I liked Enzo. We were linked to Enzo quite strongly before he went to Benfica. So I was always aware of him before the hype of the World Cup. I really wanted Enzo, to be fair. I saw Enzo as a long-term replacement, or yeah, long-term replacement for Thiago in terms of playing in our midfield, left-sided as well, in terms of playing left side of the midfield. Very good with his feet, good ball distribution. I think he would have been a good sort of young player to come in, learn off Thiago before Thiago either retires or moves on. He'd been fantastic. But for me, Bellingham is the complete midfielder, kind of like how Gerrard was. Not saying that's the comparison, but stylistically, he can defend, he can attack, he can pretty much do everything. So that's why I was screaming out for Bellingham. Will we get him? Who knows? What do you think Bellingham's worth now? Chelsea just come and ruined everything. If I'm being honest. Originally, I probably would have said like 100, 120 million. Now, 140 possibly. I think he's definitely increased in terms of if Enzo's going for 105, you definitely say between 120, 140 easily. And because of his age as well. Yeah, and can you see Liverpool paying that kind of money? I can't. So yeah, sad times. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, you're in agreement. Yeah, Chelsea ruined the market for sure. Yeah, they always do. To be fair, even when Roman Abramovich came in, treated everything like a monopoly game, just bought everything. So yeah, it is what it is. Onwards and upwards, I guess. In terms of Wolves versus Liverpool, brief analysis on Wolves in terms of what dangers they possess. To be fair, I like what the manager has done since he's joined the club, and the team's playing better football. In terms of their recent matches, I know they lost to Man City last week, but I think the FA Cup matches against us, the first one was quite debatable in terms of the final goal that they scored that was disallowed. Yeah, we were lucky on that one, and then we beat them 1-0 at the Molyneux. So, which to be fair had no effect. We lost to Brighton over the weekend, so I'm sure Wolves fans were happy about that in terms of us being knocked out. But I think they definitely improved their style of play. Um, Neves for me has really shined since the new manager's come in. He's been more of a ball player before. I think he's more sort of a destroyer in the team, so he's really benefited from the new management. Mateus Nunes has made cameos here and there. He looks a good talent. Uh, you've got Huang as well, who's come in, scored the other day as well. So I think he might be a player that starts against us as well, causing havoc on the left-hand side. Pretty much what Mitoma has been doing to Trent as well. So yeah, I can give a brief prediction in terms of how I think they will set up. So obviously the goalkeeper will be Jose Sa. I would have gone for Nouri as left back, but I'm not sure if he's available to play. So if he is, I think Nouri would play in a more deeper role this game. Actually, it'll be more. I think they'll play. I know they normally play 4-3-3, but I think they'll play a different formation. I think they might go for a 3-4-3 formation, and then you've got, I would say, Kilman, you've got Collins, who are normally their two main centre backs, and then I don't know who will be the third one, but I think is it Totti Gomez? I think that's the player that played against Liverpool as well. So I think he can come in. So that'll be the three centre back pairing, and then the two wing backs will be Aït-Nouri, and then you've got Johnny as well. I think he'll play on the right hand side. And then the two midfielders, you've got Neves, and I think you'll have Motina. I believe he's available. And then they've just signed Lamina as well. I'm not sure if this deal was completed, but João Gomez, I think, has signed as well. Another player that was linked to Liverpool that never happened. So they've got a lot of additions in their midfield, which will definitely help with their season. And then I think Huang will play on the left, Jimenez on the right, and I think Adama will be on the... Sorry, Jimenez on the middle, and then Adama on the right. So you'd think that's a bit more of a attack-minded formation, but I feel like because they're playing a back three, that will give them some sort of solidarity as well in the back. It will definitely help fend off any challenges from the front three. Our front three, who knows? Who knows? I'll do a quick presentation in terms of who I think will start for Klopp, and then I'll also show you who I would actually do, who I would set up in the team if I was Liverpool manager. You know, thinking dreamland there, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Some more comments here from LFC Trader. Outside of Bellingham, who else would you want in that midfield? I think Kudus, Bellingham, and Canceros. I don't know how that's Canceros, but Casido. I was thinking it was Canceros. Sorry. Yeah, Casido is a good one. It depends, you know, and the reason I'm saying it depends now is because if Klopp wants to stick to that 4-3-3 formation, which I think he will, then Kudus might not be the right player because he's predominantly number 10, although he can play on the right. I do like Kudus though. He's quite good. Yeah, if we sign those three, I would be over the moon with those three signings. I personally want a DM. I know he had a great World Cup, so I'm not going based off that. But Amrabat for me looked quite good. Recently linked to Barcelona as well, so I think that shows that he's still a top player. I wouldn't mind Declan Rice. I think his fee would be ridiculous. But I think him as a DM would be quite solid. Yeah, Bellingham obviously. I want some box-to-box midfield as well. So there's a couple that in my mind. So Kone, who plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, he's up and coming as well. He's a good player. Thuram, who plays for Nice in Ligue 1, he's very good as well. Box-to-box, very tall guy, 6'4", dribbles with the ball, pushes people like they're little kids around him. So having a dominant midfielder like that would be revitalizing in our midfield because we don't have that kind of player in our squad. So yeah, those are a few names I can think of. I'm sure more will come to mind as we do more transfer shows. We have to show up this weekend. There's no doubt about it. One less competition, more rest, more time on the training ground, more team. That's the benefit I'm looking at of being knocked out of the FA Cup. No distraction. I know we've got the Champions League coming up soon against Real Madrid. Can't lie, I'm dreading it a little bit, but we'll see. It is our tournament, I guess, but who knows? Who knows? Building a chemistry, we need to be focusing on this league. Let me just switch. Apologies, my laptop is about to die. So before that happens, just plug it in. There you go. So yes, back to your comment. Sorry, LFC Trader. We need to be focusing on the league and the Champions League. So I don't mind not being in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup if it gets us to the top. Long shot, but doable. Yeah, I like the positivity, but for me, yeah, I've given hope on the Champions League, as in trying to get top 4. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. We can't seem to score goals, let alone get a run of wins right now. So very, very difficult in my opinion. Excuse me. Comment here from Madison Smith. There we go. Smart recruitment is going to be crucial for the landscape of football moving forward. Teams in other leagues can't spend. That's true. What Premier League teams can, besides select a few, right now they're lucky. Yeah. I think that goes to especially Liverpool. But I'm loving this. I'm loving what teams like Brighton are doing right now, where they're buying players from the South American market and they're buying them at such low fees. And it's like no risk because you bring them over. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, they'll probably go back to South America. Like Casido, I believe they joined for 3 million, I think. I don't even know if that's the right fee, but he joined for peanuts. And he's not even on a big salary either. So, yeah, that's the kind of policy I think Liverpool should have gone. I know we've seemed to be recruiting a lot of players in Portugal, which I think is another market as well. But it's become a bit more saturated because a lot of players are coming through that league and they're going for big fees as well. Like Enzo went for 105. So especially if you're doing business with Benfica, they're not easy team to negotiate with. So yeah. And another comment from you is spend their money poorly right now. Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, for me, I think that is the key. Smart recruitment, looking at markets where you can buy players with potential and then bring them in. That was the philosophy of Liverpool. Right now, we just seem to be slow to react. Nunes, the Wolves midfielder, he was supposed to sign for Liverpool last summer. We, for some reason, declined it and just assumed that he wasn't good enough to join. And now we're linked to him again. So doesn't seem to be like a clear picture at the club, no clear direction. Since Michael Edwards has left, it's gone a bit all pear-shaped, to be fair with you. I've got LFC Trader here. Kato Nakamura, have you seen this lad? I haven't, to be fair. one name I'll make a note of, and then definitely check him out. Enzo cost Benfica 18 million last summer. That's correct. He won the World Cup, and his price skyrocketed. Just not adjustable at all. That's the thing. We were actually very strongly linked with him, and we passed on him, thinking not that he wasn't good enough. We were probably thinking maybe he wouldn't adjust to a league right away. So a move to a team in Portugal would have been great for his development and stuff. But you can't do that. You can't do that in this day and age. Yeah, Liverpool for me, they're very slow in terms of their recruitment. I think scouting as well. I'm interested to know who's actually making these decisions in terms of this transfer. Is it Klopp? Is it Pep Linders? Is it Julian Ward? Like, who's doing it? Because right now, there's no clear direction. So, very, very frustrating as a Liverpool fan to know that. Another question: do you give Doak a run this weekend and bring Salah off the bench? Ooh, good shout. I personally wouldn't, but Doak definitely makes an appearance. I'll definitely bring him off the bench. I think he made a cameo in the FA Cup as well, and he did really well. Boy's got pace to burn, so definitely an asset we need right now. We're playing Harvey Elliott in left wing, which for me, I know he's left-footed, but it's not his position, unfortunately. He doesn't have that raw pace to beat a man, and yeah, and for me, he's not effective as a number 8, which is a shame. Like, I do like him as a player. I think he's better suited on the right wing, where he's more of that creative output rather than a goal scorer as such. But he's done decent this year. He's scored, I think, 6 or 7 goals. So good squad player, in my opinion. Next season, I think we need to get strong number 8s in the squad, and maybe an attacker as well. So yeah, people keep forgetting the Premier League is a much tougher league. It's more physical. I'm curious to see how he holds up. If Chelsea doesn't get into the top 4, it's going to be a fire sale at Chelsea. Can you imagine if they don't get top 4? Because there's no guarantee. They're on the same position as us in the league. And signing all of these players, they've signed how many? 7, 8 players in this window? Yeah. And they're not all from the Premier League either. They're from different leagues in Europe. So who knows that if they're going to gel or not? For me, Potter doesn't even know what formation works for him right now. It's either 4-3-3 or 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. He keeps switching it up every week. So he doesn't know if he's coming or going, to be fair. So there's no shooing just because you sign the top players that you will make it. There's teams like Newcastle who have one of the best defensive records in the league. You got United who've been very consistent as well. To break into that, for me, is going to be very difficult for any team. You have to sell if they miss. Yeah. Oh, FFP will be... Well, you'd hope so. I don't know. Money talks nowadays. Probably give them a bit of shush money. I don't know. It's just, yeah, not saying anything, but that's how I feel about it. They've added 18 players altogether. He added the whole squad. They're trying to compete with Nottingham Forest there, trying to see how many players they can sign because, yeah, that's a madness. Yeah, Chelsea's just playing FIFA career mode. I'm not joking. I think that's where the owner gets his inspiration from because the way he's been negotiating as well, yeah, it's crazy. I can't lie. But we move. Chelsea just ruining everything for everyone, but it is what it is. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll present my predicted lineup. So this is the lineup that I think Klopp will go ahead with. So this is the team here. So Alisson in goal. I think the back 4 will be Robertson, obviously left hand side. I would say maybe we should put Simicast there, but I think Robbo, since he's come back in the last couple of games, he's looked more of himself, really, like more consistent, more energetic. So I think he'll definitely play a part. Joe Gomez, had a game to forget, I would say, against Brighton. If you're on social media, you're probably seeing all the different kinds of memes about his style of defending, especially for the last goal against Mitoma. Ice Spice comes to my head, but yeah, we won't speak on that too much. I think Matip might come into the team. Konate's out. No Van Dijk. I think Matip is fit, but he just wasn't match fit for last fixture. So I see him coming back into the team. And then you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Bajcetic for me will be that number 6. Thiago, Naby Keita. I think he's done okay, to be fair. He's shown a few moments here and there, but for me, he's just not been consistent. But right now, we don't have much choice. Henderson's come back, but he doesn't look fully fit to me. Milner, I think he's pretty much deputizing as backup right back right now. Doesn't have that same energy, unfortunately. But yeah, it is what it is. Front three, I think Klopp will put Gakpo on the left, Nunes leading the line, Salah on the right. But it could be where he switches up Gakpo and Nunes. So who knows? Let me know what you think about this formation. This is what I see Klopp playing. Now, just to get a bit of taste in terms of how I see the team, let me share some artwork in terms of how I would play against Wolves if I was Liverpool manager. So this was with my team. So I don't know why I've got Kelleher in goal. That's not right. So it would actually be Alisson in goal. Robertson left-hand side. Trent Alexander on the right. I'm actually going to give Nathaniel Phillips a chance in the centre-back position alongside Matip. He was kept on because of our injury crisis. I think he was very close to leaving to Galatasaray. I think whenever he's come in, he's done a decent job against opposition like Wolves, where they'll definitely be trying to get goals from us through set pieces, and we've been absolutely shocking in defending set pieces. So I think Phillips, for me, would be a good acquisition into the team. And midfield, I would play double pivot. I would play Thiago and Bajcetic as well. You've got the young gunner. You've got the older there, protecting the young player. But at the same time, they both have legs, especially Bajcetic. He covers a lot of ground. And Thiago, with his experience and his creativity, I think it'll be a good mixture. Right now, having one DM for me doesn't work. Having two working in partnership is more effective for the team, in my opinion. Carvalho, I believe he's just returned from injury, so it might be too soon. But I'd play either Carvalho or Bobby. If Bobby's back, I don't know if he's back, or Elliot. If none of them are back, I'd play for Fabio Carvalho as a number 10, play in his natural position, see how he does. It could cause trouble. I think having a player on the lines might just produce a bit of unpredictable play, which is something we've lacked. We've been so predictable. Everything's black and white in terms of how we're playing. So I would definitely try that up. And then Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah as the front three. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in terms of that. That would be my formation for this fixture. Will it happen? I doubt it. But if it does, then yeah, on the next show, I'll be speaking very highly, and hopefully it works. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. LFC Trader said he likes the formation. He says the lineup is brilliant. Actually, I thought Carvalho was injured. That's what I thought as well. But I think when Klopp mentioned that he was injured, this was about two weeks ago, and he said it was just a small niggle, so he wasn't fit enough to play the next fixture, which was Brighton. So my assumption would be that he's in contention to play or to be a part of the squad. But I think Klopp doesn't think Carvalho is ready right now, hence why he hasn't played him that much. So yeah, do you know what? If Carvalho wasn't even available, I would. I don't know. He's not been doing well, but I wouldn't even mind trying Curtis Jones there. But the thing is, Curtis Jones for me has not impressed this season. And I said earlier on, this is his make or break season. And whenever he comes on, he looks like he's like playing on half stamina. Like he just seems tired before he's even come on the pitch. Doesn't really have that low sense of gravity in terms of speed, very one-paced. I feel like when you come on as a sub, you've got to show a bit of energy as well, and he just doesn't seem to do that. So players like Carvalho, Elliott, I feel like they show that energy. So if Carvalho is not available, I'd go for Elliott, give him a bit more freedom to play that number 10 role rather than stick him on the left, which for me, he's just ineffective. Another comment here from Madison Smith. Without a big signing like Bellingham in the summer, do you think Klopp seriously considers walking away? I don't think it would be based on not signing Bellingham. If FSG are still the owners at Liverpool, he might look and say, look, like, we need investment in the squad. How much are you willing to back me? And if they're like, look, you got to sell Mo Salah, this and that to generate some funds, you don't have a budget, I don't think he would walk away. I think he has too much love and pride for Liverpool to do that. But yeah, even looking at some of his interviews, he just looks so deflated as well, which is quite sad to see. But yeah, I think we'd probably have to sell. We'd probably end up selling Salah. But for me, honestly speaking, I would love to say Bellingham will come. I don't see it happening unless we get new owners and we're flashing cash around. But yeah, it's a pipe dream to say the least. I think Liverpool fans need to kind of get over it as well a little bit, because if it's not going to happen, and it's strong likelihood there isn't, we can't, fall for that trap and just feel downbeat. Like, oh, we should have got him, we should have done that. It's very, very difficult to get a deal, and over 100 million plus deal. Yeah, it doesn't seem likely to be honest with you. But then I feel like Liverpool should be a bit more smart in their recruitment, sign players that either young potential players. I think looking at DMs is, for me, would work, because the squad already has players like Carvalho and Elliott and Bobby Firmino who play number 10 naturally. So a 4-2-3-1 switch up as the default formation next season and just adding legs to that midfield would work, in my opinion. But hey, I'm just a podcaster. Just my opinion. LSC Trader, Carvalho would be a good option in there, distributing the ball to Nunes. Look what he did. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because that's his natural position. He knows how to play as a number 10. He's very effective. He has great touch, great moves, can make great turns, and he knows how to thread the ball to the main striker. And like you said, he did that with Mitrovic for Fulham. So, I don't know. And we were linked with Musiala earlier on. Obviously, we're never getting him now, but it shows that was the type of player that we were looking for. So, I don't know. I don't know who's calling the shots. That's what's getting on my nerves right now in terms of Klopp and Pep Linders, because I feel like Pep Linders, for me, has too much power. Seems to be talking a lot, releasing books, revealing our tactics as well. Ironically, he calls it intensity, and we've lacked intensity since he released that book. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it was linked with the Ajax job recently. Hopefully, not gonna lie, hopefully that's true. Might change a few things for us. What if we play Curtis out left and Gakpo in the behind Nunes? I think that could work as well, to be fair. But yeah, with Curtis on the left, he just doesn't have that pace. I don't know, and he never used to be that player for the Liverpool reserves. He was very energetic, so I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, or he's been tactically told to just get on the pitch and be a controller in terms of having the ball and making it tick around the pitch, and not really play it with freedom or to be adventurous. Who knows? It might be a tactical deploy on him, but yeah, that could work as well. But I want to see Nunes on the left. I'm sorry, I want to see Gakpo on the left more. That's his natural position. That's where he plays. That's where he's more effective. His crossing and distribution is underrated. I think as Liverpool fans, we're expecting a lot more. And it's just, we haven't seen it. But look where we are right now. We're in terrible form. So it's not going to be easy to see that. And then you've got LFC Trader. They have to get Bellingham on a pre-contract agreement ASAP. Listen, if they do that, I'm doing a live show straight away. So if you hear that news, just expect an announcement on Twitter or Instagram that I'm doing a show right now. So yeah, we'll see. And it'll probably be the same regarding new owners. If we have new owners, I'll be doing a very imminent, unscripted show where I just come on live and just don't know what I'll be talking about. It's just being jubilation, but we'll think about that when that time comes. To be fair, excuse me. So that's my predicted lineup there. Yeah, it's all fun and games right now. Score predictions. I don't know. My mind is saying one thing, my heart is saying another. So my heart is saying we might nick a win, 2-1, or we'll concede a lot of goals and it'll be a draw, like a 2-2. I don't see us scoring 2 goals. We're in such terrible form. I'm going for a 1-0 win. Let's just say that. Just put it in the middle. 1-0 win to Liverpool. Sneaky one. I would love for it to be Gakpo. So yeah, let's just make that prediction. Say Gakpo to get the winner and Liverpool win 1-0. So let me know what you think. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Got a comment here from LFC Trader. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to go off a cliff and say Nunes hat-trick 3-1. Wolf. I love for that to happen. I love it. I'll be honest with you. Love the optimism. Yeah, I think this would be Nunes coming up. I hope so. I hope so. He showed great signs before the World Cup. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how it goes. But that's us today. So that wraps up the show. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who dropped the comments. So Brush, Bobby K, LFC Trader. Thank you so much for your comments. True City Fan, Football Power Hour, and Madison Smith. As always, thank you guys for your support, being part of the show. I will be doing a match reaction show. It's a 3:00 kickoff this game, isn't it? So possibly do it either on Saturday night or I'll do it Sunday evening. But follow me on social media to keep you posted. You can follow me at Ozzie FTP on Twitter or Ozzie.ftp on Instagram. So yeah, stay tuned. As always, guys, take care, stay safe. Let's pray for a Liverpool win, and yeah, let's hope we're in better mood on the next show. Good night.